everyone, this is Tammy at Snowstorm Crafts and welcome. So today I want to show you guys how I make this cute doll hair. And these are my little mini 6-inch dolls that and you can see, I mean, she's got a full head of hair here. It's really fun and simple to make. These guys are down in the description box below in my Etsy shop. So if you want to come purchase them, I have them in there for now. And this is my little Moana doll that I'm working on. And all I need to do is add her hair. So I wanted to show you guys how I do this step by step. And also let me know in the comments below. And if I get enough comments, I will show you guys how I make this cute little Moana doll. And also do a pattern for her if you guys would like to have a little pattern and show how I did it all. So comment down below, let me know. And let's get started. I'll move these little guys over here. You can watch us. Make sure we're doing it right. Okay, and so I got her, and I just took just a regular ballpoint, any kind of pen that I had, and I just did sections. So I just drew out little sections here throughout, and I will show you what we're going to do with that. So you're going to need your yarn, just any kind of yarn. This is the Lion brand yarn, and I have this in my Amazon links down below, and it's Lion brand. So that's the kind of yarn I use for their hair. And for my little Moana doll here, I'm going to use just the Red Heart yarn. Okay, so I have the yarn I'm going to use. And I have, start off with just a piece of cardboard, and it's 4 inches tall. So by the time I wrap it around, it's going to be 8 inches. So I just take it, I just hold it at the bottom and then wrap it around. Okay. Just wrap it around as much as you think you need. I'm just going to take my scissors, do a cut, move that out of the way. And this is called a weft that we're making. Okay. So what I do is I just take my measuring ruler here and just kind of judge how many inches that you want it across. And what I did is I roughly did about 1.5 inches, almost 2 inches in width is what I'm going to do. And depending on how long you want your hair, the hair for your doll, like this one, these are my little mini 6-inch dolls. So that's what they all are. So this is going to be, when it's folded in half, the 4 inches like that. So it just depends on how long you want it. Okay, so we got that. And we got this. So like I said, we're making a weft. And then you're just going to need some copy paper or any kind of paper. Even line paper would work great. And what I do, I'm doing mine just about 3 inches tall here. And it doesn't have to be perfect at all. Just a little guideline. Okay. And then I just go halfway mark. Just kind of in the middle there, in the middle of the paper, and just do a line. Well, this is how I've been doing it. Okay, and so when I line this up on here, I got my measuring board underneath, my little cutting board. Just grab your hair in the middle, the yarn, lay it on the line. And just lay them all flat. So this is where I'm going to do about almost 2 inches wide. So I want to make sure to leave a little bit of paper on the side here, because when we take it to our sewing machine, you don't want it just falling out when you sew it. So I'm going to make sure to do a little bit there. Lay everything flat, Make sure it's in the middle. And then I'm going to do about 2 inches or so. About like that. So depending on how wide you want your hair to go on to the doll, like how wide your doll's head is. And I do it from seam to seam. Okay. So that's how wide you want to make this. And then I'm going to make sure to leave some on that side. And then you take your line and line it up with the other line. You're making a sandwich, okay? So you have it stacked on top of each other, and then I'm going to take it over to the sewing machine, and I'm going to start here, and then once I hit the yarn, I'm going to do a back stitch, and then sew all the way down, and then a back stitch on the yarn, and then just go all the way to the end, and just sew it all the way down. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back. So I went ahead and I took it to the sewing machine. And like I said, I started at the front here because you want to be able to tear this nicely. So you start even with the little gap. And then when you get to the yarn, go ahead and back stitch right there to hold it into place. And then stitch and then do the same thing and back stitch and then go all the way to the end. Because this is going to make it easy to rip it. So then you just fold the paper. Take it and rip it out. And sometimes some of the paper will get stuck, but it's really easy just to pull it right out. Okay, and then I save these for when I'm doing like smaller hair and stuff and just use these again. Okay, and then you just do the same thing. Just be careful that when you do this, have enough paper to cover the yarn or you will have your yarn go down inside your sewing machine. And I've done it. So it is not fun. So your needle gets stuck and everything. So there we go. And this is a weft. Just like that. Okay. And then I'm going to show you how I attach it. Okay. So I have a bunch that I've already done over here. And the fun thing about this is that you can do them all the same color. And I like to start off with like the colors at the bottom, like the darker colors and stuff, and then go ahead and incorporate maybe some lighter colors throughout as you get up towards the top and for the bangs and stuff. And it's just kind of fun to have, you know, the different colors come throughout it all. But that is definitely optional. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to start down here at the bottom. And you're going to take where you stitched and you're going to line it up. That's where these little needles come in handy. The little pins, these tiny little pins like that. You're going to line up your stitching with the line that you did on the doll head. I just go to the seam here, all the way to it, and cover it up a little bit. And you take your little pin and just poke it down into place. Follow along. Keep poking it down. And I think it's best to keep them in place like this as you're sewing. It just makes it way easier. Be careful, don't poke your finger on the other side, or just get little small little pins and then you don't have to worry about poking yourself. That's all I'm doing is just following my little pin line I made. And these into place. I'm just going all the way over to the other seam line. This way. And then cover it up a little bit. There we go. That's how you attach that. Okay. And then I'm going to take my needle. And then I got coordinated colors to match the hair. I just did the brown, and it's like an Egypt color, and then it's coats and cotton. So any kind of yarn, or I mean thread, will work great. I usually try to match it up just so it's not so obvious and sticking out, you know. Okay. So we are going to do a back stitch. So I'm just going to go from the back here to hide the knot and pop out at the end. This, and then you can just kind of tuck your knot away. Here. All right, so then we're just going to go pop down and then just go up like a yarn or so, like too far ahead, like that. And then you're going to go back where you started. I'll show you again here. And then you can take your little pins out as you do it. So we're going to go down here and then pop up about where that pin is. So like a, say, you know, just too far ahead, like a strand or so up in front. And then we're going to go right back to the beginning of it right there. That. So then you go back. It's just the back stitch. We're going to go too far ahead. And then pop back right here. And then we're just going to do the same thing and just go a couple strands ahead. Pop it back right there. That is just a back stitch. So I'm going to do that all the way across. Okay, so I'm getting to the end here, and just I want to make sure to tell you guys to make sure you're grabbing the doll fabric on the head too as you're going down in it. And we're just going to pop up here. And there we go. And then I'm going to keep my thread attached. There's your first row, just like that. So it's really as easy as that. And I did double up my thread. I don't know if I told you guys that. I doubled it up so it doesn't keep coming undone or, you know, falling off the needle, or it's just a way secure way to keep it. So that's how I do it. And then you got your first little strand of hair here. So then you take another weft. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing. So we're going to the next line that we made. We're just going to attach it right on the line. I go right to the stitching, cover it up, pop your pin down, and we're going to do the same thing all the way across. So we went ahead and did the second weft here. Turning out really cute. Starting to get thicker. So I'm just going to continue, and I will do the next one, and then the next one, and I'll show you guys how I do the bangs. I want to show you guys something really quick here. So a couple of things. If you do not want to take it to the sewing machine, or you don't have a sewing machine, you could do this by hand, where you could just add them in there. But I'm noticing I have a little bit of bald spots, so I'm going to do the same thing, and it's the same concept that you can do here. So let's go ahead and just grab some yarn. So you could take like 2 strands of yarn. You can either lay it like in the bald spots, or because if you didn't get close enough when you're sewn together on the sewing machine, or you could do this just by hand, the whole top of the head, so the whole hair. So I just fold it in half, find the middle. You can just lay it right here, like that, and up too far here. We're just going to do a back stitch. Just continue the same way that you would if it was all threaded together, like sewn together on the machine. So just like that. I wanted to show you guys that. So if you wanted to thicken up the hair, or just do the whole thing by hand, this is definitely a way you can do it. Let's say I don't like it how that's a patch right there, so I just add to it. Up. Let's do a back stitch. Continue. Really that easy. Okay, so I just want to pop on to show you that. So I also wanted to show you guys this. If you wanted to go ahead, like your thread's getting low and you want to tie it off, so you could just tie it off right in the middle here. I think I have it too short, so I'm going to tie it like this, but you could just, it's the same difference. But just go ahead and just tie it off. Make sure it's not going to come unraveled on you. And then you could just hide this thread just in the middle of the hair here. Bunch of knots just to secure it. Then you can just do a snip, like that. And then that will be hidden in the middle here, and just continue sewing along. So I got all this done. Got really cute. I'm going to do her bangs now. So any of the threads that's like sticking out the end, I just trim it off. And I'm just going to pretty much do the same thing. So I just make sure to go a little bit of ahead of the seam line here, so then you don't have the seam showing through, like that. So I just make sure to go ahead of it a little bit. Pretty much the same thing here. Bang, so you just kind of line it up. A little bit ahead of it, the seam line. Let's see. Right. Almost on it, because you don't want to go down too far, because then the bangs look weird. They're like down in the face too much. Like pretty much just right on the other side of it. Kind of judge it and see. And then as the pins are in, you can even kind of just do a little flip here and test it. I think that'll be cute. I don't think that'll be, because sometimes you can get down too far and look a little weird. So you can even flip it after you pin it and kind of test it, because I don't want to cover up the eyelashes or anything like that. So I think that's a good spot. You know, if you have some of the seams showing through, that's fine. Gives a little character. Okay, let's go like that. And I always like to say when I'm making my dolls and doing my patterns and stuff that I love to do just whimsical, and I do this for fun, and I think you should do it for fun as well. It doesn't need to be super serious, and if it's frustrating and just no fun for you, kind of have some fun with it and just go with the flow and just see what comes out. It's more for the experience of just doing it and seeing what comes out of it. So that's what I like to do with my patterns and stuff. And I do have different doll patterns down below in the description in my Etsy shop. It's down below in the description box if you guys want to come check them out. And I'd really appreciate it. I love it when you guys come support my little shop. But yeah, that's really my motto is if you're not having fun with it, then I don't think you should do it. So I think this is just something just to sit and relax. You can, watch your favorite TV program or, you know, go and listen to a podcast or listen to some music, just anything that relaxes you as you're doing this. Cause it's kind of like it's like a slow stitch, uh, just meditative, um, to kind of zone out and lower your blood pressure and just see what comes out of it. If you kind of just do a couple of these steps like this, then you're going to do just fine. If you want, you can just fill in you know, sometimes when you sew it, don't sew them close enough together, so you can fill in little gaps if you want to. And I just make sure to go through it, touch it. And then just do your back stitch. we're at the end of it here. And go ahead. And through here. And that's why it's nice to use the same color thread, because then it can be throughout the hair and you can't see it. Okay, let's see how she turned out. And this is just a fun little Moana doll. I thought it would be fun. Do the little island girl here. Okay. So now, the cool thing about this, and I'll show you the back of it. Look at that. How fun is that? You got a full head of hair, play with, do whatever you want with it. You could do, I did here, I did the little pigtails, and I just took some yarn and just tied it with the same color yarn and just tied it off and did cute little pigtails. I mean, you could do a ponytail, this, a ponytail with some bangs sticking down. You do two big pigtails. This is just the fun part. You could just do all kinds of stuff. You can keep it down. But for her, what I want to do, because Moana has flower in her hair, I have this little flower here. Again, how I want it. I'm just going to glue it. I think what I want to do first is secure it. You can just make up fun little things that you want to do. Keeps her hair back. And then don't even really need to cut those. You can just keep them there. So I tied her hair back, and then I want to glue this right here in her hair. So I have Fabrifix glue, and I use a Sweet Sugar Bell icing container, and it has a metal tip. Works great. I have it down in my Amazon links if you guys want to come check it out. And I use this on all my fabric stuff. But you can hot glue, of course. And right where I want it. Once you put it there, you have to commit. So I think that turned out really cute. So this is my little Moana doll. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Little hair tutorial here. And if you could please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and you guys can see my next video when I post it. Like, comment, and share, and let's grow together. And keep on crafting.